In this video, we are going to start the KutaSoftware Infinite Algebra 1 free worksheet, Finding Trigonometric Ratios. We're going to do the first page in this video, and then we're going to do the second page in the next. So this worksheet will be split up into two videos. Our directions currently are to find the value of each trigonometric ratio to the nearest 10,000th. Before we do that, I want to discuss SOH CAH TOA. SOH CAH TOA will help you remember what sides of the right triangle you're going to be using. So, think sine equals the opposite side over the hypotenuse. O is for opposite, H hypotenuse, and S is for sine. For CAH, it's cosine, C, equals adjacent, A, over hypotenuse, H. And then lastly, TOA. Tangent equals opposite, which is the O, over adjacent, which is the A. Go ahead and write these at the top of your paper if you're unfamiliar with them, but eventually it's pretty easy to remember. SOH CAH TOA. Sine equals opposite over hypotenuse. CAH, cosine equals adjacent over hypotenuse. TOA. Tangent equals opposite over adjacent. In number 1, we're trying to find the tangent of A. A is this angle here. Tangent, remember, TOA is the tangent equals opposite over adjacent. So when you see tangent, think TOA. So if we're finding the tangent of A, that's going to equal opposite, and what it means by opposite is the side opposite that angle. So that's going to be 30 over adjacent. Adjacent is the side touching that angle. That is not the hypotenuse. So we know that 34 is the hypotenuse, so that will never be the adjacent. The adjacent is 16. So opposite is always opposite the angle. Adjacent touches the angle and is not the hypotenuse. Now we just need to enter 30 divided by 16 into a calculator. Go into Google, type in Google Calculators, and you can do 30 divided by 16. And then it will give you 1.875. And remember, we have to round to the nearest 10,000th. So when we write this, we'll write 1.8750. Tenths, hundredths, thousandths, 10,000ths. So we'll have to put a placeholder 0. So 1.8750 is the answer to this problem. Let's go on to number 2. 2 says the cosine of C. And we know that cosine, we're going to use CAH, which is cosine equals adjacent, that's our A, over hypotenuse, H. So the angle we're looking at is C. And remember, adjacent is the side that's touching it, that is not the hypotenuse. So for the cosine of C, we have 12 is the adjacent over the hypotenuse, which we know the hypotenuse is always across from the right angle, and that's 15. Enter that into our calculator. 12 divided by 15 is going to give us 0.8, but we need to write this to the 10,000ths. So that's going to be 0.8, which is tenths, hundredths, thousandths, 10,000ths. So 0.8000. On to number 3, we have sine. So think so. That's going to be sine equals opposite over hypotenuse. So we're looking at the sine of Z. So our angle that we're looking at is Z. And we're going to do opposite which is 12, over the hypotenuse, which we know the hypotenuse is always across from the right angle, so that's 20. 12 divided by 20 is going to give us 0.6, and remember we have to do that to the 10,000th place. So 0.6000 is the answer for number 3. In 4, we have the sine of C, so our angle is C, and we're using sine. Remember, sine is opposite over hypotenuse. So we're going to do the sine of C, and that's equal to opposite, which is 30, over the hypotenuse, which is always opposite the right angle, and that's going to be 50. 30 over 50 is 3/5, and I know in my head that 3/5 is 6/10. So when we write this, we're going to have to write 0.6000, since we have to round to the nearest 10,000th. Number 5, the sine of C is the trigonometric ratio we're solving for. So sine, think so, opposite over hypotenuse. Sine of C is this angle here, opposite C, we have 48. And we know the hypotenuse is always across from the right angle, so that's our 50. 48 divided by 50 on a calculator will give us 0.96. So 0.96 and to the 10,000ths, so 2 zeros after that. 0.9600. For number 6, we're doing sine of C again. Here's our angle C. So sine of C is equal to the opposite side, which is 14, over the hypotenuse. Think so. Sine equals opposite over hypotenuse, and the hypotenuse is always opposite the right angle. So our hypotenuse is 50. 14 divided by 50 will give us 0.28. So 14 over 50, the sine of C is equal to 0.2800. Number 7, the cosine of A. Think CAH. So we're going to do the cosine of A. So here's our angle A. That's going to be equal to adjacent. And remember, adjacent is the side touching or next to the angle that is not the hypotenuse. So that's going to be 3 over our hypotenuse, which is 5. 3/5 we know is 0.6 or 6/10. So the answer is going to be 0.6000. And on to the last problem in this video, the cosine of x. Again, we're going to do cosine, and that's adjacent over hypotenuse. So here is our angle x. So adjacent is the 24, and the hypotenuse is 30. This would also simplify down into 4/5, which is 0.8. So 0.8000 is the answer for number 8. And in the next video, we'll do numbers 9 through 22. But before you move on to that, please give me a like for this video and subscribe to my channel.